Right, hello. This is hopefully I am live if this is all working. I've got a little bit of time this morning before work, so I thought I'd just have a quick morning chat, live stream, just to test a few things out. Um, Obviously, I'm still new to all this, so I'm still getting new to the technology and stuff, and what's what. So I will just test something. If I click this button, there we go. Yes, that seems to work. What I'm going to do with that means I've got another screen here where I can do drawing or looking at websites and stuff. So if there's anything I want to look up or bring up on screen, I can use that there. So uh, let's just do a little test for a second. See if this works. Yep, there we go. All right. Ta-da! Seems to be in tune. Cool, job's good. Right, I'll get rid of that. Actually, I'll leave it up. I haven't prepared any sort of subjects particularly to talk about this morning. I just wanted to, just start a stream, have a bit of a chat, see if anybody turns up. So I will bring up. Let me see if I bring up a web browser. Oh, dare I do this? Let's have a look at the news. See if I can enrage myself. Yeah, I'm going to go to the front. Let's go to the front page of the BBC and see the BS Broadcasting Corporation. Let's see what's the daily propaganda today. Let's see. Russian forces pushed out of North Kharkiv. Okay, yeah, that's conflict's going to be going for a long time, in my opinion. With war, there's a saying that the first casualty in war is the truth. And yeah, as soon as a conflict arises, you'll get propaganda from both sides. I mean, you get conflicting reports, don't you? The news will say the Ukrainians are doing this, that, the other, they're battering the Russians, and this, that, the other. Oh, but at the same time, they really need loads of help, and they've got nothing, and they need more tanks, and this, that, and the other. It's like, which one is true? usually, usually both can't be true at the same time, can they? Anyway, I'll move on. I'll not get into that quagmire of. Yeah, that mess. Ministers pledge votes on neighbours' extensions. Nah, not interested. Food and energy bills warning for 1.5 million households. Well, no S. I mean, yeah, we've all known about this for a while. Generally when you disrupt whole economies for nearly 2 years, yeah, things go from bad to worse in terms of energy pricing. I'm just going off topic a little bit. I know I'm talking about. I know I live in the UK, but talking about like America, for example, their energy stuff with the gas prices and everything. They might try and fool you and tell you that's because of the war in Ukraine. I mean, anybody with a brain, anybody who can analyze things knows that's nonsense. It started well before then. I think it started on day one of Biden, axing 50,000 jobs on a pipeline that would have been really useful called it's called the XL pipeline. Is it it was to do with Canada to the US. But anyway, again, I don't want to get into. I'm touching on I shouldn't look at the news. I'm touching on too many too many subjects. It'll probably just get my YouTube channel completely hidden or yeeted. Let's see what else we got. UK ticket holder wins 184 million on Euro Millions jackpot. So you might think, wow, good for them. Well done, nice one, big win. Do you know what? I think there was a documentary about this. I didn't actually see the documentary, but I've heard that generally speaking, maybe not for everybody, but for the vast majority of people who win big on the lottery, overall it tends to have a detrimental effect on their life. I mean, I imagine spending money is pretty fun at the time, but I think overall it doesn't seem to do well for people's happiness. I'll be honest. Yeah, I mean, I would never know. I don't do the lottery, so I'm never going to win it. If ever I win it, I'd be very surprised. The first thing I would ask is how, because I don't play the lottery. I don't gamble. Let's see now. I don't know who Deborah James is, so I'll skip that one. I'll just have some coffee. My Isle of Man TT mug. Oh, that's good. Right. Are Finland and Sweden going to sorry, going from neutral to NATO. I don't know. NATO. It's a subject I should probably steer clear of. Um, I'll let you know. A lot of my opinions and theories are um, not going along with what. How should I say it? Not go doesn't go really go along with the narrative always. I have very analytical kind of mind. I like to look at things from not just what I'm being told from one view, but from different views. Try and make up my own mind. There was a saying. I heard it from a lawyer online, and it was with everything. There's usually three stories. You've often said, "Oh, there's two sides to every story." Actually, it's usually three, and I'll explain that. So you've got one side giving their version of events, you've got the other side giving their version of events, and then you've got the truth, which is usually somewhere in the middle. It's usually a little bit of this side, a little bit of that side. This side might have embellished something or omitted something. This side might have embellished a different thing and omitted other stuff that wasn't favourable to their opinion. And so yeah, the truth is usually somewhere in the middle. So it's the same with news. I've noticed a few years back now there was some events that I'd witnessed live. I'd seen things happening live, so I knew exactly what happened. And then maybe 2 or 3 hours later, I see all the mainstream media news outlets reporting on things, and I'm like, nah, that's not quite true. That's not the way it went down. You're twisting things, taking little snippets, little images to try and push a narrative that didn't actually reflect what actually happened, and that happens all the time, on both sides, of people's political persuasions. More so on one side than the other, but I'm not going to say too much at this stage. I don't want to give away my full opinions on everything. At some point, when I do enough of these live streams and blabber on and ramble enough, you'll probably get to know some of my thoughts on various big subjects. Football, no, not interested too much about football. Let's see, save my tooth or heat my house. Oof, that's harsh. So that's obviously somebody struggling for money, and they've got to choose between whether they pay to fix their teeth at a dentist or heat their house. Yeah. Now, my opinion, when you get these sort of problems is, let me just close this down a second. Yeah, usually I don't think government is the answer. They usually make things worse, in my opinion, if we try and get them involved to fix too many of our problems. I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm all for. I mean, I pay my taxes, and I'm all for them. Keeping the, funding hospitals and funding the schools and the fire brigade, the police, keeping the street lights on, all that kind of stuff. But I don't like them getting involved in too much more than that, really. I don't like it when government gets involved in every little aspect of people's lives. Yeah, I'll steer clear of that subject. That's for another time. But what was I going to say there about the guy who had no money there for the dentist? Oh yeah, I think people helping people in communities is is better than government in a lot of ways. For example, food banks. I know they're a divisive subject. Some people obviously think, well, we shouldn't have them at all. We shouldn't have a need for them. Yeah, I understand that. Yeah, in an ideal world, we shouldn't have a need for them. My wife actually volunteers at one, and it is something that is kind of vital, really. And yeah, I don't know. You get completely contrasting views. Some people sort of think, oh no, these are just for scroungers and people who take advantage, and they, and stuff like that. But no, from my wife's experience, no, most of these people are in genuine need, and I think they're a good thing. And thankfully, it's good down to people's generosity that these things exist. I've gone off on a bit of a tangent there, haven't I? But yeah, because of the cost of living crisis, obviously everything's going up. Fuel's going up, food's going up. The food thing, yeah, obviously that conflict, I'll not say the names of the countries, but the conflict that's going on that every news outlet is talking about. That, I think, is there's going to be a delayed effect on that, but I think that's going to affect food prices because of it's a lot of the chemicals for fertilizer and things come out of those two countries, and I think it's a lot of the wheat production, and a lot of farming hasn't happened because of the conflict. Um, there's other things as well. Some major food processing plants in America have also coincidentally had fires and explosions and stuff over the last few months. Might just be coincidence, but it seems that breeds conspiracy there, doesn't it? Food prices and shortages come in. Yeah, I think if you have the opportunity to maybe put aside a few things of cheap dried rice and pasta and stuff at the moment, it's not necessarily a bad thing to have in your house just in case. Because if at some point people panic buy, as we saw with the pandemic, people. I was it baffled me when everybody went and bought loads of toilet roll. I was like, eh. It's funny when people panic, they just lose their mind and just it's like they don't follow logic. Because I had the you know what illness. I actually had it twice. First time round, it hit me the strongest. It was the first wave, and actually because of the way I was feeling, my appetite was down. I was hardly eating. Well, I was eating, but not very much. And so I was kind of using less toilet paper than normal. So why people went out and rushed and bought up all the toilet paper was beyond me. People's common sense seems to go straight out of the door as soon as there's some kind of crisis. Bizarre. Anyway, 1 second. I'll just have a check on the stream, see if there's anybody in the house. Anybody wanting to ask any questions? Okay, don't see anybody. At this time in the morning, though, probably everyone is heading to work or at work, so I do think I'm gonna, on my little channel, I don't think I'm gonna get anybody in this morning, but I'll just ramble a little bit. And but for after, if you're watching this later, please just add a comment, add a question for me, and then I will address it in the in the next one. Oh, that reminds me, actually, I should just have a quick look at my channel. If I just go. Sorry, it'll take me a second just to search it up. I should have had this ready, really. Right, click on my channel. It's telling me I'm live at the moment. And yeah, I did have my first comment on a live stream. My first live stream comment. Let's just see if I can share it. So we've got here Leather Lad. Hello, Leather Lad. Thank you very much for the comment. He just put, "I just love your rambling, lol." And thank you very much. I'm good at rambling. I'm glad you're enjoying it. I will continue to ramble. Hopefully, eventually, this will become more interactive, more entertaining to people. Sort of ask questions and then chat in real time. That'd be great. Having a conversation real time. So yeah, Leather Lad, I hope you see this. I hope you watch more of these, and you got a comment or a question for me, pop it on and I'll address it. We can have a bit of a conversation, even if it's a delayed one. A bit like playing chess by post back in the day. And I'm showing my age there. I'm pretty old. Okay, so let me just hide that. Actually, no, I'll not hide that. I'll what was I on? News. Should I try something else? Should I try Google News or something? Oh, wrong browser. Nope. Ah, get out of here. Get out of here. Right, there we go. Let me try Google News and see if they've got any sort of different headlines. Boris Johnson live. Nothing off table to avoid trade war on Northern Ireland Protocol. I know nothing about that, so I'll not get into that. Although it mentioned in Boris Johnson, I will just sorry, excuse me, just need to clear my throat. I will just have a talk about Boris Johnson and Keir Starmer, because when it was in the news, all the Partygate stuff that's been going on forever, the one thing that I kept shouting at the telly whenever I walked past, and if my wife was watching the news, wasn't so much all of that nonsense. It was when a few weeks back when Keir Starmer was up in the, like they have the Prime Minister's questions, and he's there berating Boris for having his party and all that, and that elicited from me the shouting at the telly of hypocrisy. You did exactly the same. You make out like as if you're the good guy, and no, you just did exactly the same. You know, that whole thing in Durham, and then lo and behold, about 2 weeks later, the media finally cottoned on and actually started talking about it, and they started like bringing up the fact that yeah, Keir is a hypocrite. He did exactly the same stuff. Um, yeah, for me, none of them believed in it because they all knew it was nonsense. Um, they didn't believe in these rules. I'd rather they just say, "Yep, we did it. We had the parties because these rules were a bit stupid at the time." I'd rather they just be honest about that. But if they were going with the whole hardline thing of thinking that what they were doing was right in terms of the rules, then yeah, they should have stuck to it. I mean, you know, how it's like, wasn't there was another MP or something early on, even though she knew she had it, she then travelled halfway up the country or all the way up to Scotland on a train or something after knowing she had it. These people are awful. Sorry, I know it's judgmental, but yeah, politicians. I think yeah, seems to attract a certain type of person that becomes a politician. Yeah, I've got a theory that anybody who's got like good intentions to genuinely help and make and improve and make the world a better place, if they get into politics, my theory is that they won't be allowed to climb the ranks and they will be held back. I think it's only those that are the corrupt that will be allowed to get up into the positions of power because they all help each other with their corruption. That's my opinion. Yeah. Okay, so I'll move on from that. So that is Johnson and Starmer. These are our choices. Great. Okay. Moving on. Similar stuff. Cost of living. Ukraine. No, something about the Philippines politics. I don't know anything about that. I'll be honest. Drink driving mum took son to beach while 4 times over the limit. Yeah, okay, that's not great. But did anything happen? Was there an incident or an accident? I certainly hope not. If there was, she'd be all these stuff. Yeah, whatever. Get off my screen. 4 times over the limit. Caught on dash cam driving so erratically she ploughed over a roundabout. Oof, into a grass verge. Nothing short of sheer luck that she didn't cause a serious accident. Okay, well I'm glad nobody was hurt by the sounds of it, particularly the son. Yeah, don't do it, people. Don't drink alcohol and then go and drive. And same for drugs. I remember when I was doing my my motorbike training, there was the guy had to give a talk about drinking drugs and riding a motorcycle, and he just said he was quite funny. He just said, look, in my opinion, if they don't mix, if you try and mix drink and drugs and motorbikes, then he said, in my opinion, you deserve to die. And I had to laugh at him there because yeah, I mean, bikes are so dangerous at the best of times because people will pull out in front of you, people will do silly things and not see you. There was one time I had to go, a van pulled out and I had to swerve over to the opposite side of the road because he just kept coming. And thankfully for me, there was nothing coming the other way, otherwise I would have been in a right mess. And that's one of the things that people who don't ride motorbikes don't sort of grasp until they ride motorbikes. It's just how many times you can actually almost die, and just as part of a normal commute or something, and you know, you get to work and you're like, oh yeah, I was nearly killed on the way in. Thankfully, didn't. You know, and like, because most people are so safe in their car, the big metal box with airbags and stuff. I mean, depending on obviously what speed roads you're going on and stuff, but you know, if you're going in a city or something, 30 miles an hour roads in a car, chances are you're going to be absolutely fine. But yeah, that happens to bikers. I don't actually use my bike as often these days. But well, I'm rambling. I've lost my trail of thought. Oh, the drink drive woman. Yeah. Just don't do it. Just no, No, no. Oh, is that where she ended up? Okay. Okay, that could have been a lot worse. Could have been worse. She got lucky. What did they give her? Probably a suspended sentence or a fine or something. She accepted that. In trying to do something nice for her son, yeah, it's kind of irrelevant if you're wasted. If you're 4 times over the limit, you don't, get a bus or don't go until the next day. Alright, okay, how do I get back? Any other news going on? Something about the Queen's speech. I missed that. I didn't really catch it. So Charles had to do it because she wasn't well or something. And some people were kicking off. It's like, how weird, man. She's working in her 90s, and like, if she's not well, she's not well. Give her a break. Yeah, just my opinion. Lottery winner. Yeah, we looked at that. Al Jazeera accuses Israeli forces killing journalist in West Bank. I will not touch that on YouTube with a barge pole at the moment. Fears for European gas supplies as Ukraine cuts Russian exports. Now you see, places like Germany, they've done this to themselves. And I'm just going to finish up this coffee. They became, at their own choice, quite frankly, over the years, so reliant on Russian gas. I think it was about 70% of their Russian gas energy came from Russia. And I remember seeing this bit of footage from years ago where Trump was calling them out, and he was saying, he was across the table from these German people, and he was he was just sort of saying to them, he's saying, this is crazy, we're giving you billions and billions of dollars for your defense and to keep you safe against Russia, with them being just here, just not that far away. All these defense programs and stuff, we're giving you billions and billions of dollars, and then you're just giving across billions and billions of dollars for their gas. And he was saying, is that appropriate? Maybe you should source gas from other places. Even if it's slightly more expensive, you shouldn't. You're basically kind of arming your what you consider to be a big threat on your doorstep. That we're giving you all these billions of dollars to keep you defended against, just in case. And you're just waxing it on loads of gas from these same people. And yeah, so it's lack of forward planning and thinking in the future. So obviously now that there is a conflict with Russia moving into certain parts of Ukraine, any European countries that want to oppose that in any sort of meaningful way are kind of stuck, aren't they? Because unless you're going to go get your gas from somewhere else, what are you going to do? You've made yourself beholden to this country. Yeah, I'll not get too much into that. That's yeah, lack of common sense there from the leaders. Nothing new. Leaders of all countries. Yeah, I don't think we're using our best and brightest. We're just, which goes back to my original theory of, I think people who maybe are intelligent and have good sort of ideas or ways to improve things, I don't think they'll ever be allowed up the ranks in politics to get to the kind of roles where they can actually make the big decisions. Because they wouldn't be corrupt enough, would they? They would be, if they've got genuine altruistic, is that the right word? Also good motives. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah. Elon Musk. Elon Musk bad. Oh, that's hilarious. Yeah, I saw that little 3-minute sort of clip where he was talking about where he thought it was a wrong move of Twitter to ban Trump. And oh man, the reaction is going to be hilarious. I don't know whether it'll actually happen because obviously Elon Musk, I don't think he's fully bought Twitter yet. Sorry. Oh, it cracks me up. Even if he did, I think Trump has said that he doesn't want to go back on Twitter anyway. But people change their minds. I mean, he says that, but just to wind up the other side that don't like him. Could you imagine the amount of tears? Oh, Elon, please make it happen. It would just be hilarious. Anyway, yeah, I'll skip on past that. Before I won't be able to stop laughing. Cost of living again. German price increases hit record high on food and energy prices. Well, yeah, it's exactly what I was talking about. A lot of that's probably going to be because they get certain things from Russia and they get certain other things from the Ukraine. Right. Apple to just discontinue iPod after 21 years. Well, it makes sense. I guess they're kind of redundant now if everybody's phones has enough capacity to hold zillions and zillions of songs. When, you know, most of the songs out there are really terrible. You don't need that many, you don't need that much space. Then, yeah, iPods are kind of irrelevant. I used to have, back in the day, an iPod Touch, which was kind of a bit like an iPhone but without the phone capability. So I only just used it in Wi-Fi areas like in my home. That was pretty cool at the time. Yeah, but generally, if I can speak, I promise this is just coffee for promise, right? Okay. Generally, I'm not much of an Apple fan. I know that the software works pretty well and stuff. There's something I use it for where the organization I go and help out has the Apple Mac screen computer things, and yeah, it works okay. I'm just not as familiar with where things are and how you do things on Apple, and I think you're paying for the brand. You're paying a lot of money for lesser product than other stuff that's out there technology-wise. I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm no expert. I'm, you know, still a bit of a boomer, but like my phone, for example, is just a Samsung because I'm cheap. I don't have a lot of money, but you get more phone for your money with something like that in terms of space, capability, ability to add SD cards for more space, ability to change the battery over, all that kind of stuff. Yeah, so I'm not particularly a fan of like Apple products. I think sometimes they're a bit pretentious, but I understand. Yeah, they work well. They look slick. Yeah, that's fine. If you're into that and you want to pay the extra money, fair enough. But you know, you drop it and smash it, yeah, it's going to cost you more. Well, so is this all just about smartphones? Yeah, I think that might be it for now. I think I'll leave it there. So let me just have a little play with this. I will say bye bye. I'll see you all on another stream. Ta-da! Bye now.